Welcome back to Headbangers. So we're trying to do something new now. We're trying to do our reviews as a separate video. Not to just maximise content, but that is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, let's face it, our filming schedule's all over the place. Our podcast will be shorter. I know everyone's like, podcast should be long. But go fuck yourself. Yeah. The reason why we decided to actually do reviews in a different video is because we noticed that like the reviews were our strongest part, and with what we want to do with the podcast,
we want to like proper slam the review now.
Yeah, no, but like our reviews are genuinely, I feel like, our best part about the podcast. So I feel like they needed a separate video because a lot of time we would shorten the reviews so we could go on to other topics, where now we really want to just give albums the best sort of like what they deserve really when we're reviewing them. And give as well with the direction of the podcast, there's a few things that we want to change. We really want to aim it more towards actually interviewing bands.
Yeah, interviewing bands, and I think also just like, so we do, we give the reviews the credit that it deserves, make sure that we're putting time into it. Making sure the podcast, we're not just rambling on about stuff, like we're making sure we're getting like, the best refined stuff. And then like you said, so we want to take it in a bit of a direction of interviewing bands and actually, getting to see what the scene's like and, seeing how that progresses.
Well, the podcast still will be there, but it might vary with the length, depending on what we've got to talk about that day.
And different content.
The podcast will mainly now consist of the big topic, which is what we always started with, and our shout-outs. We will also figure out maybe more talking points. We might be bringing back news. The only problem is that with news at the minute, there's not much going on. There is literally no fucking news. So yeah, that's what's happening with the podcast. If you're wondering why they've not just uploaded one video every 6 months.
So
we will be uploading more.
Trying to be better. So that's our rain check. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Ingested, with the new album Where Gods May Tread. Now, we've both been massive fans of Ingested for a long time. Like, ever since I saw them at Bloodstock, they blew me away.
You've seen them 4 times. I've seen them 3 times.
I've seen about 4 or 5.
I'd say 3 or 4.
Every time they've crushed it. Like, they really sparked my interest, which is like not something that happens with a lot of bands. Like I get into them, but like with Ingest, I became proper obsessed, and I've loved everything that they've done. But it seems like they just get better and better, which is why I want to talk about this one, because this is musically a very interesting path for Ingested. So do you want to start us off, Murph?
So we'll start off with the title track. Well, not the title track, the opening track. It's extremely hard hitting. There's no opening riff. It opens exactly how it means to go on, especially in terms of the album. There are other elements in the album, but we'll touch on that later. The vocals and the drums are completely on point. It really does keep you on your feet. The midsection, where it's just the instrumental for a few bars, really breaks up the song very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's giving you kind of time to catch your breath. Say if you're in a live gig environment, fucking hopefully soon, it will give you time to actually get a breather. Then I feel like it then also contrasts with the actual, once those instrumentals are done, the vocals kick back in and there's that drop. I think it makes it even heavier. Yeah. Because then you're like, oh my God, like it's like, remember when Caleb said he first saw Ingested at Bloodstock and you did, and you like, it just got heavier.
No, literally, like I went into that like not really knowing who Ingested were, and when Follow the Deceiver first came onto the album, like it just showed you that they weren't fucking around. No matter when you listen to Ingested, you know that they ain't playing, like they're not playing at all. And that song, like, I think it's like it shows them like, right, we're gonna take a different direction in this album. But here's one for everyone that's been listening for all this time. Like, this is an Ingested track, and you know it is.
It's so good. It's a good opening track. It lets you know what you're in for, and really just kicks you in the teeth. next song I feel like we should pull up
No
is...
measures.
Yeah, I'd say No Half Measures.
Yeah, because I mean that was something that was released before. So they released Impending Dominance, they released Dead Separate Forms. I can't say that. And then obviously No Half Measures. So I mean this one as well. Like you've gone from Follow the Deceiver into this like crazy blast beat, and when I think this becomes more evident just how crazy the drumming is. Like
the
this
drum's
guy's
about 40 seconds in.
He's a machine in it. Literally.
Oh my! It's so impressive.
Like I don't know, he's definitely does not skip leg there.
You know what makes me laugh? Have you ever seen that Fox and Hop interview he did? Where he said now as I progress, I've started making more simple stuff. In terms
this
of
is the
drums.
simple
I'm like,
stuff.
what the fuck is that? That's not simple.
Like if this is the simple stuff, then I don't want to know what's coming next time. Jesus Christ.
Like, I've picked up a lot about drumming from being around Danny.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact what he plays isn't simple.
No.
Like, it takes years, and some people don't even achieve that level.
I think a lot of drummers are being modest when they say that. They know they're playing like crazy stuff. But I think No Half Measures, it's quite intense all the way through until the slow sections. But yeah, I think it's a nice polarizing song to Follow the Deceiver because that one was kind of slow and chunky. This one's like straight blast beats, very sort of modern death metal sort of twist. You know what I mean? Like it's like we were talking about before. Like they started off as like a slam deathcore sort of thing. Like we're sort of treading on the fence of birth, and this one it's like. Right, yeah, we're straight up fucking death metal.
No,
but we still maintain the slam elements as well.
They've bridged this like sort of. They've almost evolved. They have evolved into this sort of realm where it's.
Where God's
if you
made
don't
treads.
like slam, you can still listen to them. But if you like slam, you also be able to listen to them. They've found this sweet point where I won't class them as a slam band anymore because when you look at the discography after probably like 2013, 2014, 2015, something like that.
Level above humans, definitely not just a slam record.
It goes from slam and I'd class them as extreme death metal now.
Yeah, because there's too many elements from different genres to be able to kind of pinpoint and say, right, you're in this ballpark. And it's quite funny because Jason is the slam king and he's not even making just full slam.
Yeah, as well, can we go on the subject of Jason? His vocals have improved since this record.
He's shown so much range, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I listened to it and like his vocals have always been good, especially as a vocalist.
Yeah.
Like, I sit there and go, I want to try to be try to hit what he hits, but his highs in this, fuck me.
Yeah,
like his high vocals are like
highs,
wow.
Well, he sounds like he's still on his like journey of a vocalist, and I think it's definitely prevalent, and it's showing that he's not ready to just sort of say, right, this is my vocal style. I don't need to really experiment anymore. I found my sound. He's like, right, now how far can I push this?
Yeah,
and he really does push it in this album.
It seems like he is really pushing himself. I think that's No Half Measures wrapped up in it. So next thing I want to go to is Impending Dominance.
Yeah, so this was the first one released, and there was quite a big break, I think, between like this and the rest of the singles that followed that. But yeah, this one was and is still one of my favourites on the entire album.
I really liked it. Yeah,
like it's just the way that everything just flows so nicely together, like the drums and the guitars and the vocals. Like you see little points when it speeds up really fast, but even his vocals are keeping up with the sort of intensity of the drums.
Remember Sovereign from the previous album?
Oh yeah,
I got
that's
massive
the first
vibes from that. I mean, like,
yeah,
I got massive vibes from this. The two songs are quite similar.
Yeah,
I think. Like I got really big Sovereign vibes from listening to it. The drums again on point, guitar again on point.
But it's like how they work together there.
Well, the drop as well later on.
I mean that
really
is what we've come to.
Vocals.
It's what we've come to love from Ingested, and it's always when the fucking breakdown comes and everything just drops, and it almost feels like. And the production on this album is insane. Like the way that it still sounds unbelievably brutal, but it sounds clean. You know what I mean? And I think this is a really hard sort of thing for bands to be able to find the middle ground for when the production is complementing the brutality of it, and no one is interfering with the other.
Well, whoever produced this album, well done.
I think you need to take your hat off to him.
I take my hat off to you.
Yeah.
My hair's fucking shit, but I take my hat off to you. Can you take your hat off to him?
Yeah.
But yeah, the sick that whoever did that, the actual mixing and mastering and the actual production, well done.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than when you listen to an album where, you know, one instrument is drowned out the other. Sometimes it works, but like, you know, for black metal it works. But I think for like death metal, I like everything to be on, you know, a sort of mid section when everything sort of works together. No one is drowned out.
You know, it's funny after listening to it again today. Before the review.
Yeah, I did that as well.
Yeah, just because I wanted to keep it fresh in my memory. I bought it on vinyl.
Did you really?
Yeah, because like
Jealous.
the thing is, I was like unsure at first listen. I was like, it's good, but if I'm gonna buy something vinyl, it means it's something I want to listen to without skipping the song. And I listened to it again. I was like, you know what, this is actually a really fucking good album. Like. And I'm gonna get it on vinyl, so I've ordered it. So I think the next one is The List. So right, you know what's really funny about this opening riff? Don't you think it sounds like an up-tempoed Cannibal Corpse riff?
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if you slowed it down half a step or even a full step, it'd be a Cannibal Corpse riff. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
No,
it's good. They're very much. It's very much a death metal song.
They're paying homage to the old ones, like, you know, a bit of Cannibal Corpse, a bit of Morbid Angel. So I think it's very interesting what they've done with this one. And I think, like, you know, the first 3 songs, they're very ingested, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, you can see them sort of branching out. And this one, it's like, okay, well, we can also do this as well. Yeah. We can pay homage to these old great death metal bands.
There was, like, again, another naughty breakdown. And, like, towards...
I know.
I was sat there listening to it at work, and I was like, I'm sensing a pattern here. I know. Every single song has just a breakdown. You're like...
But that's good, though. Like, I feel like that's their thing. You know what I mean? Like... With Ingested, and when you listen to an album, it's almost like Christmas. Like, you think you've got all your presents, and then there's another one that comes like, oh shit, you got me this as well. Yeah. And it's like, there's
I thought it was done. Oh my god.
And I can't wait, when this is over, to see these songs live.
You know, it's so funny, like, doing this podcast after lockdown. Because it's like I can't wait to, normally it'd be like, I can't wait to see him live, got tickets for next month. No, it's like, I can't wait when this is up.
If you're watching, guys, please do the gig in December that you're planning to do at Key Club. If you do, you know, my backyard's free. Yeah, I'll pay you.
If you can't do the gig at Key Club, yeah, Brad's Garden's pretty massive. Yeah, he'll suck you off.
Yeah, whatever it takes. No half measures.
Really? Did you
not fucking see that?
Oh, yeah. You don't just notice. What? You're wearing your Ingested vest?
Represent, guys. Come on. I've got 3 of your t-shirts. It's time for you to pay me something back. But nah, List, great song. Paying homage to the old greats. Like it.
Now, this is actually my favourite song on the track. The Burden of Our Failures.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
In a way, it kind of annoyed me a little bit because I wrote a song very similar for Scripted Hate, and I listened to it, I was like, fuck.
I know, but it's hard to kind of, you know, when you're creating riffs, sometimes you are gonna sort of.
It's not even riffs. The lyrics are really similar, and the entire subject matter is so similar. It's unreal. I'll show you after this. Yeah, like, it's fucking unreal. But yeah, The Burden of Our Failures is actually really. I think the opening compared to the other ones it's quite slower. Which I think it actually breaks up the album very well, because I'm not gonna lie, with the first couple 3 songs it starts off very fast and very hard hitting, which is good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it got to the point where I was sat there going, I wonder what is the next one gonna be like. I'm not saying it's a bad thing,
no,
but I'm just saying for me personally, I was sat there and I was listening like, okay, cool, is there gonna be like a bit of a variation? Well, not a variation because they were varied, but
something new.
A new thing thrown in, because I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying that at certain points that you kind of like, okay, it's another fast hard hitting song. Okay, it's another fast hard hitting song. You know what I mean? And that's purely me from writing the review, being like, I want to write something new. But yeah. Anyway, it's got a really good feature in it. One thing I really want to talk about is Vincent Bennett's feature.
Oh my god!
Is that good?
It's interesting as well because I mean, from my knowledge, I don't think Ingested have had any features before, or at least if they have, like nothing's really sort of
Not jumped
been
to
so
mind.
polarizing as this.
Was like,
but it works
in this album, which we will cover the rest of.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get used to this theme of every single fucking feature adds to the song it's added to. It never once goes, oh, I would have put that feature in that other song.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, no, I can see why they put them in there.
It doesn't always work with like death metal bands, I don't think. Sometimes it can sort of throw it off the the sort of feel to the song.
Nah, but
with
they
this
add.
one,
They add. Every single feature adds.
no, yeah, really nice contrast.
But yeah, his guest vocals, are so
Killer.
good. Really compliments
dope.
Jason's as well. It kind of made me think, what if Vincent Bennett started like a similar band to I know he does, I think it's Arcadia Strain that he does.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
And I know they're similar to Ingested, but I feel like what if he'd done like Fawn Ingested? Like I feel like, God forbid, if Jason ever left the band, I'd pick him as the vocalist because his vocals added so much and complemented Jason's
No, they
very
really
well.
did. I think definitely the mixture of the two was very nice.
As well, like it's got that slow section that we've noticed in a couple of the songs, and I feel like it's really good because it kind of gives you a sense of an overall arc of the album.
Yeah, so it's like you've got the first act, which is like, we're still Ingested, guys. Don't worry, we can still fucking blow your socks off.
But then this is when it starts going. This
Yeah.
is something.
And also, I think this is like a good intro to this, the second half of the album, which is very, very different, but still good and works well. Like it doesn't feel like you're transitioning and there's no consistency. It feels like there is consistency, but you're getting a taste of what's to come.
Yeah, I think that's the burden of our failures wrapped up.
Yeah. This is the one I struggled to say. Dead seraphic forms, something like that.
Dead seraphic forms.
I would say, great video. I mean, to be
I
fair,
haven't seen the video.
have you not?
No.
It's like there's all these certain band members during lockdown that contributed.
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you've got like Black Dahlia Murder, like Trevor doing a bit in it. You've got Matt from Cryptopsy, like you've got Matt Heafy from Trivium. Like it was really nice as well. Like in lockdown, see all these bands like having a good time in the video, and you saw like a few bands do this, but I think Ingested killed it the most. Like they probably did a good job of that. But the song itself is amazing.
Yeah, well, it goes straight back into the hard hitting riff.
Intros and that. Yeah.
The riff around the 1 minute mark, catchy, pretty heavy.
Yeah.
The background guitars were about towards the 2 minute mark. Gave him like a massive sense of like prog elements that then also reign true for the rest of the album. It's really fucking good. Also, I wonder if it is Jason doing the shouty vocals we can hear towards like the end of the song.
I mean,
because if it
would be.
is, no, because it could be the guitarist.
I guess so, yeah.
But
he's already showed that he can master the highs.
yeah, like if it's him doing the shouty vocals, like he did him really fucking well. Like if it is him doing shout vocals, wow.
I know.
Because it's another range to his vocals that I didn't know he had.
I know. It's a lot different to his other styles, but it works so well.
He pulls it off very incredibly, like fucking phenomenally.
Now I want to talk about Another Breath because, like, out of all the features on the album, like this one is like gave me the biggest like Jekyll and Hyde sort of feel. You know what I mean? Which also like, it's got a very melodic, like emotional feel to it. Like you've got sort of Kirk from Crowbar doing these like
and
sort of clean
when
vocals.
it kicks in, you can't help but to like sing along because you're like memory.
I know.
You know what I mean? You're
and then
but
like
then,
Jason
comes in,
and
you're
kicks you in your balls.
Oh.
Like it's so.
That song felt
So
like I
good.
was being sucked off for like 4 minutes.
I know.
Fucking honestly, I was like, yeah, and Another Breath is like definitely the most interesting one of the most interesting songs in the album, because it's such a good contrast between Kirk's vocals, Kirk's singing basically, and Jason's like
filthy,
like harsh
vocals. Yeah,
it's very interesting to see. I really, really like the song. It complements it very well, and there's a lot of variation that's added with this song to the album.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next one is Black Pill. Matt Honeycutt.
Yeah,
coming into the album.
You know what? I heard Matt Honeycutt's fucking vocals, in that, and I was like, that's Matt Honeycutt. I didn't even know he was in the album because I knew about the other two.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, they got him as well.
This must be like your biggest fanboy moment, isn't it? Because you love Q-Bar Clan.
I fucking love him.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was such a good. You know, his vocals once again. It added like another thing to it because it added like a rawness to it.
Yeah, you've got the sort of rawness of hardcore mixed with the brutality of death metal. And I think it showed on many occasions that they work so well together. But in this song in particular, another interesting polarizing contrast as well. Very good.
I fucking loved it. Also, can we talk about one of the bass section in this? It's like that little roll effect.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
I like what you did there. It's short, but I like what you did.
It's something that you remember, innit? Like, even the smallest 5 seconds of musicianship, like, there's these little interesting little cookies in there.
Yeah, you listen
like,
to
you notice on especially if you listen to it, like, over and over again. I've listened to it about 3 times already, and every time I come back and there's a new little treat in there. Besides, obviously, the massive, Christmas effect that I told you about, all the breakdowns. Like, there's also little interesting sounds that aren't to do with that. That really take you back. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting album.
Yeah, no, I listened to it and I was like, nice little, I like what you did there.
Yeah.
I like what you did there. I like it a lot. But it might, I think, Forsaking It in Desolation. What did you think to that?
It's one of the songs that I thought was a tiny bit forgettable.
Really?
Yeah.
I quite liked it.
I liked it, but I think compared to like the mammoth of fucking other songs that they've released on this album, like I feel like this is the one that I could have skipped.
Really?
Yeah. It's a good record, but yeah.
I noticed, it might just be for me, but in the opening bit with Jason's vocals, it sounds like they mirrored his vocals. So like they sound like he did the vocals twice and they played them alongside each other. And this might just be me hearing things, but if they did, like what Blackton does with their lows, like it adds a lot of depth. A lot of people, I think a lot of bands sleep on that because they're like, oh, when we play it live, we won't be able to do that.
But the listening experience should be a different thing in itself.
Yeah, no, like when I listen to that and I feel. You know what? I feel like maybe someone might correct me, and hopefully one day when we get Ingested on, I'll ask them. But if they did that, it added a lot of. I feel like it added a lot of depth, and it's definitely something that I really liked.
Well, considering the amount of stuff that's gone into the production, it wouldn't surprise me if they've added like other elements like this into it.
Again, bass rolling effect.
Yeah.
Another nice little touch.
Nice little cookie.
Nice. Leap of Faithlessness.
Now this, I'd say, is, along with Another Breath, I'd say this is the most interesting thing for Ingested to do, because Ingested had never made a 9-minute song before, and this goes into a bit of progressive stuff. So it's I think it's definitely interesting that Ingested are taking a new direction of trying to extend the songs and trying to fill out this time with like lots of different musicianship styles. I like it, but I feel like it's going to be a lot better the next time around on the next album if they choose to do another, long song like this. I just feel like all the elements together, I feel like there needed to be more variation in there to kind of stretch out to a 9-minute song. But then again, I still like the song, and I don't feel like it should be taken out. I just feel like next time around it will be more refined.
See, with me, this is actually, I think, almost my second favourite song in the album. Because, it is 9 minutes. But I think there's a lot to decompress. It feels very melodic and fast and hard when it goes into kind of a drop about 40/50 seconds in. Really like the vocal sections where it sounds like the track is breaking up around it.
Yeah.
It's like do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I like
it
that,
sounds like
yeah.
the track's stopping while the vocals are happening, but it's adding like I think it sounded really good. And we haven't really seen it in any of their other albums, but I also can't think of any other band that's done something like that.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting for me. Almost like kind of breaks it up a little bit better as well, because it is 9 minutes, so you do need something like that.
Yeah.
And as well, I've got to say, the switch from like when it goes into like, the slow melodic sections, to then going straight back into that harsh, heavy shit. Like that. It's well done. Like, it's not like you're like,
no, it's well done. I think it'll definitely be more interesting than the last album. So, what do you rate? I think this album is a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's one of the most interesting albums of the year, and definitely one of the best Ingested albums for me. Like, I think this and Level Above Human, I can't decide which one I prefer, because I love Level Above Human, but I think this is definitely the most experimental Ingested I've ever been, and I think the future for them is looking pretty bright. 8 out of 5 out of 10. What do you say?
Well, for me, I liked the solo in Leap of Faithless.
Yeah.
Like the bringing back guitar solos. In editing, zooming on my face when I do this, but nice. I liked it.
So
I would rate, like you said, 8 out of 10. It is a fucking amazing album. One of the best albums of the year, I think. Only criticism that I'd give, the reason why I haven't rated it higher, is that I feel like the first couple songs, they are ingested, and it is what you what you like and expect from. But I felt like in some cases it did kind of become not very, but a little bit repetitive. And I wish that the variation would have started a lot earlier. And
That's
I think
fair point.
as a whole, this album does a very good job of trying something new. And if you was to listen to their full discography, you'd listen to it and you'd be like, okay, I can see this is Ingested, and it would definitely stand out, but it wouldn't stand out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Yeah,
Now I've got you there. Yes, thank you for watching this review. Check out Ingested, support them. They're a fantastic band, and I really hope that if you're watching it, then please come to Key Club in Leeds, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future if not, and keep making great music.
Yep.
I've been Brad.
I've been Nathan.
Catch you next time.